Thanks for your support as a channel member, Optics! Unbelievably, we're leading the Drivers' Championship after 4 rounds with Pierre Gasly. He holds a 1-point lead at the top, and today in Canada, we want to extend that. Hello folks, and welcome to episode 44 of Haas with F2 and GP2 champions only. We're gearing up for the Canadian Grand Prix, which at the time of recording is the most recent Formula One race. So yeah, we're looking for something as exciting as that weekend to come our way today. I believe this episode will come out like maybe a couple of days before the Spanish Grand Prix, so it'll probably still be the most recent Formula One race in reality. But in this world, in this universe, Pierre Gasly is the man to catch right now. He has 72 points, a point ahead of George Russell, and he's got a 9-point lead on reigning champion Max Verstappen. So we're looking pretty good in the Drivers' Championship. Constructors, it's still looking really good. But we probably want to try and catch Red Bull, I think. Although that's very optimistic of us, I know. I mean, last season we were just about beating Mercedes, and now, look at us. Championship challengers ahead of, well, this is our final season. There's nothing, this universe ends at the end of 2025, doesn't it? So we're looking good right now. Drivers, you might have noticed that Felipe Drugovich has improved to 81 overall. His stats are on the way up. We probably need to improve his accuracy, to be fair. He's just unbalanced at the moment. So if I do... Is there one that does smoothness and accuracy? Yeah, wet track. So if we actually get him to work on his wet weather skills, he'll be more accurate and hopefully smoother on his tyres. So hopefully that pays dividends. What's Gasly working on? He's just on balance. Let's do pace on long runs because we want him to be excellent in the races. Car-wise, we're looking pretty handy, I'd say. The only thing we're not better than average at is dirty air tolerance. Don't need that because we expect to be at the front now. And brake cooling. Not really a problem because we're hoping to run in clear out at the front. Engine cooling, ditto. So at the moment, we're looking pretty handy. Medium speed is an issue for us, but I'm deliberately not bothering with that because we're going to gain loads of time in low speed corners or high speed corners. There's not a huge amount of medium speed corners sort of around the racetracks that we're going to. So we'll boost that, I think, at some point this season. But excelling at low speed and high speed, that's what has got us victories in Bahrain and in Monaco, especially the low speed. So we're looking pretty handy. Today, we're off to Canada where you need low speed and medium speed, but you also need top speed, and we're good for that too. So I'm going to get into practice and through qualifying, hopefully see you in Q3 with both cars this time. We need to get Felipe into Q3. He's fallen 15th in Q2 in the last 2 rounds. We need to improve that, so I'll see you on the track. Successfully into Q3 with both cars. Pierre Gasly topping Q2 there. We had the benefit of a massive tow. We were in a train that featured Leclerc, Sainz and Drugovich. So yeah, a slipstream is the way to go around Montreal, it would seem. It put us just over a 10th clear of Leclerc's Ferrari, but weirdly the game has done this because we had like a wet practice on Friday. And I simulated it. The game has given back like basically all of the soft tyres. It's ridiculous. I've got 2 brand new sets of mediums for qualifying and the race essentially, so we'll be using them. We could do a first run on mediums maybe? I mean, there's a possibility of that, or we just do, because I want to keep a fresh set of softs for the race, and then maybe we go soft, medium, medium. That might work. So yeah, maybe just use one set of softs in qualifying, at least in the third part of qualifying. Then we are set up pretty nicely for the race. So yeah, the game doing weird things there. Let's get to the track and see what we can produce. It's time for the all-important final laps in qualifying. Max Verstappen has just gone fastest ahead of Gasly, who set a 10.5 on his first effort on used tyres. We did have the benefit of a double tow from Drugovich and Russell, and he's now the fastest man in the first sector on fresh rubber. So if we can set him up for another front row start, that would be beautiful. We're watching Drugovich and not Gasly, who's purple in all sectors. The checkered flag is about to fall. The Red Bull darts out of the way. Sainz can only qualify 5th. I think Leclerc is just ahead of us. Where is he? There he is. What's he going to do? We'll watch him stay 7th. Verstappen is in the pit lane. Drugovich goes 4th, and Gasly goes to P1. He goes quickest by almost 0.4 of a second, a 10.1. That was a superb lap time. Fastest in all sectors. Drugovich doing a great job in 4th. No slipstream, really. Well, he's down to 5th. With, I think that's Russell jumping in front of him. So, good stuff from Drugovich. And we should be set for a really strong Sunday afternoon. Going with the 2-stop for both drivers. Soft, medium, medium. Because I don't want to use used soft tyres. But depending on if we get safety cars and things like that, I might. So that option is always available to us, starting on a brand new set. Gasly goes from pole, Drugovich from 6th, bumped down a place as Perez nipped in ahead of him after I'd stopped recording in qualifying. But we're looking all pretty well set. I'm not going to underfuel the cars because then we can keep pushing. We don't have to worry about saving fuel in this race. Lots of long straights, so not easy to recover fuel and be quick at the same time. But we are ready to race. Let's go to the grid and try and win our 3rd out of 5 races. We're getting used to this at Haas, being on pole position. This is 4 out of 5 races. The 5 red lights are on, the lights are out, and the race is go. Gasly gets away reasonably well. Verstappen alongside him. We're going to have to show him the curb. We're going to have to... No, we've allowed Verstappen through. Pierre, dude, that's not ideal, but Drugovich is up a place to P5. Gasly fighting back. Can he get past the Red Bull? We probably want to drive in clean air and try and do that. Verstappen is on mediums, which is less than ideal. Let's put it that way. Russell's on used softs, so we might be able to catch up with him pretty quickly. But annoyingly, we have lost the lead at the start. We can set it up properly. We should be okay. DRS, and look at that. We just absolutely fly. Verstappen's still there. How did we manage to go through the chicane without crashing into each other? I don't know, but we are back in the lead. Good news. And now, hopefully, we can get away. I'm going to attack and push with the fuel. Let's have a look at the overtake off board. Side by side out of the final corner. And we are, thanks to DRS, into the lead. We should be all right because, well, Verstappen's on a different strategy. Russell will be on a very similar strategy to us unless he's one stopping, in which case it's completely different from us. And Drugovich is up into 4th. That was a sweet overtake. Absolutely fantastic. And don't fight your teammate. Stay behind him. Let's have a look at this. He's outbraked Lewis Hamilton into the hairpin. This was a lovely move. Look at that. Got the run on the Ferrari and said, I'll have the apex. Thanks very much. We are back in the lead of the race. 2 laps in a row. We've overtaken a Red Bull on each of them. Firstly, Verstappen, who had lost the lead to Russell, and now we've pulled essentially the same move around the outside of George Russell, and we lead this race once again. We're now 1st and 4th, and everything looking pretty good. Drugovich just in the train. He'll get a nice undercut on these guys as well, because he'll actually be stopping first. 3.6 second stop for Drugovich. He's going to exit in 19th place, 17th place, because of where the pit lane feeds you out, just ahead of the 2 Williams of Albon and Ocon. So we need to push with everything and get up the road. I've just realised something that is kind of worrying. So I put fresh engines in for Monaco as Gasly retakes the lead, and I then put the old engine in for practice. I've just realised I didn't switch them back. So we're using worn power units to try and win this race. I have managed to handicap us a little bit. We're fighting somewhat with a with one hand behind our back, I would assume. Let's have a look and see everybody else's power units. Well, actually, they're about the same. So it's, yeah, that would explain why we're not completely screwed, but you'd rather have that extra power, to be honest. Gasly's in. Right, this is where we need to get him hopefully out in a bit of a gap. We don't want a slow stop. 5.6 seconds, not terrible. Not the worst that I've seen. And he'll pop out, actually, just ahead of his teammate. That is pretty crucial, actually, for both drivers, because now Gasly can just drag his teammate along, essentially. Drogovic has been told not to fight Gasly, and now they can basically work together. And interestingly, we are only 13 seconds off the lead. You lose not very much for a pit stop in Canada, only 18. So at the moment, we'd have a 5-second lead on Verstappen. That's notwithstanding any slow stop that he might have, which I hope he does. So Verstappen has pitted, and he's come out behind his teammate, and he is 10 seconds behind us. I didn't see if he had a pit stop issue. I don't think he did, but he's now on hards, so he's going to the end. Russell will he go to the end on those? Probably not. We're definitely not going to the end, so we will at least be coming at Verstappen at some point very quickly and chasing him down for the win. That's how this race is probably going to shake out.
Yeah, I have a problem.
Rechecking stake time.
That's not a message you ever want to hear, is it? You have a gearbox problem, but technical failures don't come in until F1 Manager 2024, so unless it hits 0, we'll be absolutely fine. It'll just slow him down a little bit. I'm sure everything is okay. We'll come in for a pit stop, I think. So everything okay at the moment. We'll have some overtaking to do, but the boost you get from the DRS will be huge. It's just whether we can make up the lap time that we lose in this pit stop. Gasly hits his marks. It's another sluggish stop for Pierre. That's far from what was wanted, and he pops out just on the tail of Lewis Hamilton. So it's kind of as you were for our drivers, and we're now 13th and 14th. Oh, the field spread is really not that big. Look at this. We are only 13 seconds off the lead. The field in this season is so compressed, it's ridiculous. We've seen it in qualifying, where in Monaco we were less than a 10th off pole and we were 5th. It's so tight. Sergio Perez now leads this race. He no longer leads this race. Max Verstappen leads this race again. But where has Perez come from? He will definitely need to stop again, or he will need to look after those tyres lots and lots and lots and lots. He's struggling to make real progress at the moment. We're just stuck in this DRS train. Gasly trying to find a way through, failing, and actually losing a bit of time there, but he'll pick up the DRS once again. At the front, Russell and Verstappen are sharing the lead. Gasly now a second behind Hamilton. We need to pick up the pace again. And this is just for a fight to get in the points. Drogovic won't score points today because the field is so close. I thought the field would spread out so much more, but it just hasn't. We haven't had a safety car and no yellow flags. So this is just true pace and everyone being really, really competitive. So you can't get away with stopping more times than you need to, because you could before. Now you don't have that luxury. We are staring down the barrel of a double pointless race. This was not what I had in mind starting on pole position. Here's Gasly round the outside of Hamilton, getting himself up to 9th place. But this has just been infuriating. Although, well, Leclerc is 7.5 seconds behind. We've only made 3 seconds on the leaders because we've been stuck in this hideous DRS train. It's just absolutely disgusting. And that Stroll now getting back in front of Leclerc, because it's 3 DRS zones, it's just constant, really. And now with 5 laps to go, we're actually 11 seconds behind the race leaders. We've just gone nowhere, really.
6 laps.
And now, I think this lack of power is hurting us. So an error in not putting in the correct engine is going to cost us massively. Finally, Gasly has got himself into clear air. He's 6th. But there's 3 laps to go. Only 3 to go, and he's under pressure from Stroll. And because there's so many DRS zones, we will struggle to shake him off. What's his tyre wear like? He's on softs and it's not great. Lando Norris now leads the Canadian Grand Prix. The Red Bulls are really struggling in the later stages of this race. Lando's winning the race against Perez, and Drugovich is now chasing a point off of Hamilton, actually fending off Bottas. Gasly has escaped Stroll, but we're not going to be anywhere near George Russell.
No overtake.
Yeah, Red Bull 4th and 5th would be very, very useful for us. Gasly would fall behind Russell in the standings, but it would only be a few points. That would save our blushes a bit. Penultimate lap then. We're closing in on the Red Bulls, but it's nowhere near fast enough. Let's deploy some battery with Drugovich, see if we can get him into the top 10. What a race. What a race. Let's have a look at this. Just Perez and Norris fighting over the win. This shows you how crazy this race has been, because these two cars have been not really anywhere near a win so far this season.
This will be the last lap now.
We've got a yellow flag. Stroll, have you done something? No. Crash involving multiple cars. I don't think it's anything to do with us. Gasly is just going to have to settle for P6. Can Drugovich get into
Look after your tyres.
the points? Let's go high overtake aggression. It might all end in tears. But Lando Norris is probably about to lose the lead. That's not where you want to be on the final lap. Drugovich almost into 10th place. I think Lando's going to hang on. Oh, wow. I mean, this is great, isn't it? If it's not us, at least let it be Lando Norris. He wins the Canadian Grand Prix. What a mad race. And Red Bull only 4th and 5th. Russell struggles home. He lost. Or maybe he went off. Yeah, maybe it was him who went off. He lost several seconds on that final lap. And we pick up 6th with Gasly, 11th with Drugovich. Mate, from 1st and 5th on the 1st and 6th on the grid, I did not expect to finish 6th and 11th. Lando Norris has won the Canadian Grand Prix from 13th on the grid. Unlucky for some, very lucky for Lando Norris. I don't know. We're the only team to have 2 stopped, and we've managed to strategize our way out of a victory because everybody else is so closely matched. I think we can't afford any more of these sorts of strategies. We got away with it in Monaco because of the red flag, but on a track like this, maybe also the fact that we're not particularly good through medium speed corners didn't give us enough of an advantage, but still, everyone was so close together. Absolutely crazy. Look at the lap times here, the fastest lap times. Everyone very, very close. Behrman in the 14s and Hajar in the 14s. They're the only 2 outside of the 13s that isn't a 12 or an 11 in Perez's case. An 11-8. Dude. Okay, so Constructors' Championship, we lose a lot of points to Red Bull. Think we probably won't be winning the Constructors' Championship this season. We just need to make sure we finish 2nd. And George Russell now has a 1-point lead over Pierre Gasly. It swings the other way. Wow. What a race. I'm going to have to go and have a lie down and get my head around all of this. But Lando Norris in this universe is a Grand Prix winner. That was absolutely crazy. And if you want more crazy, leave a nice big thumbs up on the video and subscribe for more F1 Manager content coming very, very soon. I'll see you for the next round, which is Austria. I think it's a sprint weekend as well, so that should be fun. You're the best fans. Bye for now.